What's up, everybody? Welcome to AEW Uncensored. I'm here with my man, Alan. We are the Bridge and Tunnel Connect, Nolan Hash.
Beast from the East with the least research.
And that. So, what's up, everybody? As always, we start off, like, share, subscribe. Right there, it's right below if you're watching us live. If you're listening to this on the podcast, we do a live show. We do this show live on YouTube every week, Sunday at 3:05 Eastern U.S. time. So if you want to join us and chat with us while we're doing the show live, please feel free to join us. So like, share, subscribe. Do it on all your friends' phones, your family's phones, your mom, your dad, sister, brother, cousin, niece, whatever. You know, everybody got a goddamn device nowadays. So even a 2-year-old. So, you know, like, share, subscribe on YouTube for that. And Twitter at AEW Uncensored, one word. Email us anytime at AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. You know, you want to send us hate mail, love mail, any mail, spam mail, whatever the fuck you want to do. We like to get mail. Facebook, you could search us in the search bar, AEW Uncensored Podcast. We have a page and a group, so both of those should pop up. You know, like the one, join the other. As far as the podcast version of this goes, you catch us on any third-party podcast app, as well as iTunes, Google Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeart. Rate us on iTunes, please. That's huge. Helps the algorithms out. Can't say say that anymore. That'll help the podcast grow. As always, you want to join us on the show as a call in. Join us on our Skype. The description has the link. So click that. Send me a message. I'll put you in a little chat. And of course, everything we do is on uncensoredalliance.com. So before we get going here, I wanted to, last week I had asked anybody that listens if you don't mind shooting us an email, letting us know, you're with us every week. You're checking us every week. And we got a few, literally a few, which is cool. I was going to email you guys back, but I figured it'd be cooler to just shout it out on the podcast, without, this way you guys kind of hear it live and don't just get it, the reply and then a shout out. So first guy, we got Chris Worley. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that you sent us the email. We love you for listening. He said, he says, I listen to every podcast. I also appreciate how long they are and as I enjoy the content. Thank you for what you do and keep it up. So, Chris, we appreciate it. You are the first email that came through, so thank you for that. And then our second and last email that we got is from Skylar Lambert. Skylar, appreciate you listening, brother. Thank you very much. We love you guys. He says, yo, AEW Uncensored crew, thanks for putting together an informative, honest analysis of weekly happenings in AEW. I'm a weekly listener who looks forward to the breakdown. I started watching Dynamite in mid-June after taking a long hiatus from pro wrestling. I hate McMahon. Join the club. Thank you. He knows what's up. And have quickly been pulled into the storylines and characters. Fear the revelation, he says. Excited to see Will hashtag Willpower Hobbs get some airtime on Dynamite tonight. Keep up the great work. Appreciate the content. Best wishes, Skylar Lambert. P.S. Free Jungle Boy. So we got a couple narratives that these guys love, and I love them for that. So that was two guys sent us emails after we had asked that last week. So we appreciate you guys, Skylar and Chris. We just want to say thank you very much and I appreciate you guys. And of course, everybody who joins us in the chat weekly, or as much as they possibly can during the live show. So again, I'll ask this again. Send us an email. Let us know you rock with us weekly. Whatever. It could just be literally your name in the title and in the subject line, and just say, yeah, I listen to you guys weekly. You don't have to put anything in the body if you don't want to. and just email it to us. And you could use your real name, or you could use a screen tag or whatever, and we'll use that. At uncensoredalliance.com at the top, there's the bar. We have the email there, AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. So, email us. We'll shout you out, live on the show. And we appreciate you guys. And, want to give you guys a shout out as well for listening and being with us. This, I think, was the first week that we were on the charts all week, which was pretty fucking awesome. One day I seen we were well over 100, but every other day this week that I've checked, we've been under 100 on the wrestling sports podcast. So that's fucking awesome, man. Like I said a bunch of weeks back, we're like 22 episodes in right now, and I'm kind of blown away by that. Like we literally been above some podcasts that I listen to of some famous people at times. At times, I know it literally fluctuates by the day and who's listening at that current time. So, I don't want to pat ourselves on the back too much, but it is fucking awesome to see something like that. It kind of gives me like some pride that we're doing some good stuff here. And like I said, we kind of just do this because we just want to talk AEW and have fun with it. So it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously you want to be somewhere where people land and come and listen to you talk this shit too. So so it's always cool to see that people are actually tuning in to listen to what you're doing. And thank you guys for sending those emails. And please, anybody else that wants to shout it, send us a shout and we'll shout you out. Thanks again.
Yep, definitely.
So let's go, Alan. You got a lot of miscellaneous. Well, not a lot, but you got some miscellaneous. You want to start off obviously with. Go ahead.
Yeah, not AEW related here, but just sending condolences to the family of Road Warrior Animal. He passed away this past week.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Anybody who's been into wrestling, the late 70s, early 80s, going to the 90s, they know who he is. Member of the Road Warriors, aka the Legion of Doom. These guys inspired a lot of tag teams. They inspired Demolition. They inspired just so many guys to get into the business. And so sad to hear it. He joins his partner, up in the pearly gates. And much love to his family.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. I mean, he was pretty young. It seemed like he lived a pretty clean life. He was only 60.
Yep.
Sadly, he was with his wife, celebrating their anniversary. They were away from what it sounds like. Hopefully that is correct information. But I mean, that just kind of makes it so much worse. How influential were the Road Warriors? I mean, they are the quintessential badass tag team. I mean, they wrecked shop. They destroyed everybody. They were so over. I mean, they still to this day call it the Road Warrior pop. You know what I mean? When you get that big reaction, So, really, just want to send condolences to his family. It really sucks, man. I love the Road Warriors, and not much more you could say than that. Really, really, just want to send condolences to the family and rest in peace to Animal.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year on wrestling.
Yeah.
In terms of deaths, it really has. Kenny, what's up, brother? Kenny's back in the chat. So yeah, what else you got there, bud?
So this was kind of assumed, but it was made official this week. Serena Deeb is now officially All Elite.
Smartest move they made.
Exactly.
Smartest move they made.
And I'll talk about her a little bit when we get into dark. But yeah, she's definitely one of the best signings that they've made recently. Certainly somebody who I hope will be seen as a leader in the locker room for the women's division. They need it desperately, to be quite frank. And she's fantastic. I thought she put on a clinic actually on Tuesday, and I'm glad to see that she's actually officially part of the group, and hopefully she's there for a long time. Looking forward to seeing more of her.
100% agree. I was real impressed with her against Thunder Rosa. I really felt like it kind of took me by surprise because like I said, I don't know her from the WWF or whatever, and I did come to find out that she was a trainer for WWF at the time, as well, recently I should say, in recent times. So I mean, I could see it in the ring. She's just solid as fuck, smooth, looks good. She's not running sloppy matches. So that I felt like just after watching her, I was like, she could really, really bolster this women's division and help them learn a little bit to get their game up.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but for those who didn't hear about it, I mean, her background essentially is she made a name for herself at FCW, which was kind of the precursor to NXT. Wrestled a lot of matches there. When she was brought to WWE, unfortunately, she was wasted. She became part of CM Punk's crew. They shaved her head. They had her basically be a disciple, but she didn't really wrestle much. That's the thing. When she was called up and she was part of his crew, she was mostly there just to stand around, look tough, and maybe had just a handful of matches. So ever since then, there wasn't really much going on with her. And I hope we see her on a regular basis. I mean, their biggest challenge now with somebody like her, I think, is that because she's so good, it's going to be hard to, I guess, you really going to have to work harder to elevate the other women in the division when they're facing her. Because right now she makes everybody else look silly, I think, with some exceptions. I mean, Ali, I think we both agree, looks great. Obviously, there's Thunder Rosa. There's not that much quality yet in that division, so hopefully they will find a way to balance that out with her. And I'm just looking forward to seeing more and more of her for sure.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa ain't with AEW though. Don't forget.
Sorry, yes, you're right. More thinking that
she's just working.
That's true.
Now.
We'll see how long that lasts. I mean, I hope it lasts for a while, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm with you on that. I really, I think she'll be more of a help than a hindrance.
Oh yeah.
Because I think a lot of the problem is you have so many green people going against each other that it just makes it look that much worse. Because if you notice when Shida goes in there against a green worker, she can carry the match enough that it looks pretty good overall.
Yeah.
Versus if you have two green people in there, it just kind of looks like a fucking disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
And last thing I want to bring up, mostly Cody Rhodes news, and this is an interesting piece, I think. He's been denied a trademark request on his father's famous nickname, the American Dream, apparently for the third time. The trademark was refused again following a request for reconsideration, which was filed by Cody's attorney back on September 14th. And what it states in regard to the latest refusal is the following. The request does not raise a new issue. It does not resolve the outstanding issues. It doesn't provide any new or compelling evidence with regard to the outstanding issues or present analysis and arguments that were persuasive to shed new light on the outstanding issues. So it sounds like, and I don't exactly know why the initial request was denied, but it sounds like when he's filed this again for the third time, he didn't really do much to change anything. I guess he maybe just recycled the request as opposed to trying to make new arguments as to why he should be able to trademark the nickname. So just an interesting piece, I think. It's a shame, for him that he can't trademark that.
Now, the WWF doesn't own it?
That's the thing. I don't think they do. If they did, I think that would be the thing that would shut him down right away. So I'm not exactly sure why he's getting denied it. I mean, if there's anybody out there listening who can either shed light on this or who can correct me on that, I mean, if in fact WWE does own it, I just feel like if they owned it, why would he even bother trying to file a trademark request for it, if it was already taken?
Well, I mean, he's tried to do that before on something WWF has owned or they've recently let up and
okay.
They kind of went back and went to take it over and said, hey, we just were late on this. And, I believe they get first dibs, even if they do go over the extension. I could be wrong on that.
Okay.
But at least they may have a better chance, even though they went over the extension, at getting it back over someone else because they did own it, you know.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong, but I would assume.
I mean, come to think of it, I would think that WWE would want to have the trademark simply out of spite. It's a, it's sad to say that,
they're
but
doing it with the last name they're doing.
Exactly. So,
So,
all right. Well, I mean, good luck to him in his quest there, but thought that was interesting just to note.
Yeah, I got one more. I didn't read. I literally, it's a headline. I really wasn't even going to talk about it because, there's no official. I haven't seen anything official. It was a quick thing on Facebook, so take this with a grain of salt. Apparently, FTR mentioned that went to Tony Khan and said they want to work with some. I'm guessing the North is the tag team that's the champions in TNA or whatever it's called now, Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna assume it was them because, like I said, I'm only going off headlines. That they wanted to work with a specific tag team in Impact because they want to prove that they're the best in the world, and I'm gonna assume it's the North. And honestly, I never heard of them until I watched that show that they had, that pay-per-view that they had with when the WWF guys came over.
Yeah.
So like Heath Slater and that.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I had ever heard of them. So apparently they're pretty good though. So I don't know, man. I mean, I get it, but it's like you got so many fucking tag teams in AEW. You don't need to bring a tag team from another company right now to challenge them. You know what I mean? So just my thought. I don't think it's worth the squeeze. Let's be real. They might look to come over whenever their contract's up. So, why get in bed with Impact if you don't need to?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So. But that's all I had. What do you got? Let's start with Dark, man. What do you got for Dark this week?
Oh man, Dark. So normally, I watch all of Dark. I have it on actually in the background, believe it or not, while I'm working. I'm still working when it's on, so I keep it going. I still try to take notes while it's on.
Right.
I mean, for me, what did I have here? I mean, Serena Deeb was the best part of that show to me, honestly. When I'm going through all my notes,
I only got two, so
yeah, Serena Deeb.
I only got two, so spit it out.
She put on a clinic against Kylan King. I thought Kylan King actually did a great job as well, and that she had a very good partner to lead her. So that to me was probably my favorite match on the card.
Okay.
I just think that Deeb was just awesome. And part of that, maybe I'm being biased because I love her work so much, but I really do feel like she put on a clinic in that ring. It was fantastic. I don't know, I'm guessing maybe they're going to have her on Dark to try to get other talent over, which is fine. It's a good spot for her, but I would like to see her get into an actual picture, hopefully on the main show. I did enjoy the Will Hobbs Serpentico match. Again, I like how Hobbs is looking. We discussed our thoughts on what we thought they were going to end up doing with him moving forward. Mm-hmm. I think this is a nice little showcase, relatively short match, but it was a good showcase in terms of showing what he can do. He looked great. So just something that stuck out of my head. And then, the only other brief thing I want to bring up, and I'm sorry, I feel like I have to apologize every time I say this, but my God, I cannot freaking stand the Sunny Kiss Joey Janela combo, man. I know I wrote you on the side about it. I can't stand it. I just don't think it works. It just doesn't feel like wrestling to me, seeing them in the ring. It was an okay match against Kevin Blackwood and Daniel Garcia, but for the most part, I'm not a fan of that team. I'm not a fan of what they've been doing really with Sunny Kiss. It's just I just don't like it.
We'll get to some more of that soon.
We'll get more to that soon, but yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because it was a note that I did take for Dark. But yeah, those are my three biggest thoughts for Dark this week.
You crack me up that your notes are all the shitty matches. You know what I do with the matches that I don't care about? I just fast forward through them.
Dude, Serena Deeb was my number one note, and that was my favorite match.
All right. So
I tried to do both. I tried to mix the good and the bad.
I was gonna watch that match just for her, but I was like, I know she's solid, so I don't really care to watch her in a job match.
Okay.
So I fast forwarded that. I skipped Janella and Kiss, the fucking disaster that is, and turning into more and more as the weeks go on. So for me, I got Starks and Daniels. I wanted to see them. Obviously, that's a two top name guys. Obviously, Daniels is on the downtick of his career. I believe he's 50 now or so.
Yeah.
So he almost fucking Arabian fucking whatever I forget what the fuck it's called, Arabian moonsault. He almost botched it again. He barely made it onto the top rope. But the match is great. I mean, that was just a little funny aside. Like, I actually had Ron here yesterday, and he was with me watching it, and we both kind of looked at each other like, oh shit, he almost did it again. So I felt both guys were smooth, in sync. I like it. I got to be honest. I haven't been giving Starks a fair shake in my mind in terms of getting in and liking what he's doing. I know you're a Starks guy. I listened to his unrestricted AEW Unrestricted interview, and it's funny that it takes a guy's thought process on the business to make you really stop and go, you know what? The more you think about him and you go, okay, I see it. He was saying like wrestling lacks characters. Wrestling lacks this and that. You just got people wanting to do flips and flops and that's acrobatics. That's not characters. Wrestling is based on character and story. And I was like, you know what, man? Like, I got to just rethink how I'm looking at Starks. I think I look at Starks and he does a couple little things that I think that kind of turn me off to him. But then I'm like, you know what? I can, like, just in my mind, I got to flip that switch and say he does a few little gestures that kind of throw me off of him. But then I got to think back to it's a character. He's doing what I want him to do. He's into the storyline. He's into like giving his person a character. So I'm kind of like trying to take a rewatch on him and take him in a different light. So I really wanted to watch this match, and both guys obviously can work their ass off. So it was a great match. I did watch the match. I didn't watch it closely. I kind of fast forwarded till his parts, but I don't remember a while back Mbadu was on Dark, and he was a guy that I felt like, I like this guy's look. I would like to see, like, similar to Will Hobbs, I would like to see this guy possibly in the future progress. And I really liked what I saw from him. I fast forwarded to his spots as much as I could, and he looked pretty good. I don't think I'm not saying he was great, but he looked pretty good. He's a big guy. He wears it well, and I was impressed. And I liked to, again, like Will Hobbs, I'd like to see more Mbadu. Gotta be honest, not sure I like the name, only because it's like a ripoff of the fucking Mbaku. In my opinion, I don't know. It could be part of the dude's culture. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gathering it's a ripoff of Mbaku. So it's almost like maybe a name change, maybe a little bit of a makeover as a character. But other than that, I think he could be poised to again be on the roster. I didn't really take in his persona, like where I feel like Will Hobbs would be like that never-ending baby face, So I don't have a mindset on where this guy's would kind of sit in terms of years down the line on the card. So I don't really have too much of a mindset on his character,
Yeah.
Then I got Ben Carter and Lee Johnson. All right, these guys had a really, really good, clean match. Both young guys. I'm not really I don't know. Like, Lee Johnson's good, but I don't have a 5 for the guy. You know what I mean? He's not like a guy that I'm like, yo, they need to sign him. He's a very bad actor. His facials are awful, but he's an amazingly clean wrestler. I don't think he's that seasoned either, which is good. Which is great that he's that clean of a wrestler. I would say at whatever stage he's at. Ben Carter too. Ben Carter I felt has a little more charisma. Fucking excellent wrestler, excellent timing, just like Lee Johnson, but he also is not the best with the facials. I mean, he's a little bit better, but not much. I have a feeling they're going to try to pick Ben Carter up, if not sign him soon. Just off of like that, and then I heard he had his last match on Dark last week was good, or the week prior was good, and then obviously we'll talk about Late Night Dynamite in a minute. But the one thing I didn't like in this match, it was a very clean match, was they hit a double clothesline on each other. It looked so fucking good. It was so impactful. Both guys went down. What did they do? Instead of selling a double clothesline, they double kip up and double pump kick each other in the chest. It looked more like Johnson hit him. I didn't even feel like he hit Johnson when I visually saw it. So it was apparently a double. I didn't even bother rewinding to see it. I just let the match go. That double clothesline looks so fucking good, and you nullify it by no selling into a kip up into a double pump kick. Come on, man. Yep. Tell the fucking story. Now you're both down. You've had this great back and forth battle. You're both down. You're both writhing to get up. You get up and you go back into your match. You don't kip up and then double pump kick each other and then lay on the ground. You take the first impact. I don't know. That kind of annoyed the fuck out of me. Other than that, the match was great. Again, both guys smooth as hell. Both guys look good. And before we move to Late Night Dynamite, one thing, it's funny, I was watching a clip, and Ron was here. I can't remember where it was on. Probably YouTube. I probably was putzing around YouTube, and Stan Hansen clotheslining the fuck out of somebody. Tiger Mask. Mm-hmm. Tiger Mask went in, right? Tiger Mask bounces off the ropes to go in for the move against Stan Hansen. Stan Hansen runs off the opposite rope and just fucking does a Stan Hansen lariat. You know a Stan Hansen lariat. I mean, the motherfucker was like a truck hitting somebody. Yep. He made it look so good, and it looked like it destroyed Tiger Mask. Guess what Tiger Mask didn't do?
He didn't pip up?
No. Guess what else he didn't do? He didn't fucking do a 360 flip because he got clotheslined by a goddamn Mack truck. Probably the best clothesliner in the history of the sport. He didn't do a fucking, complete fucking flip because he got, inside outed, Yeah. So I know we rail on that shit a lot. Yeah. And again, that just goes to show you that. How about you go fucking watch a little Stan Hansen? Go watch a little All Japan Pro Wrestling from the fucking 80s and 90s, and even New Japan in the 80s. Go watch that shit, and that's how you fucking clothesline. Just because you fucking, some guy flips around for you, that's acrobatics, man. That ain't impact. You ain't impacting shit. You're doing acrobatics. Stan Hansen made you fucking feel like you were fucking when you seen it, you felt it. You know what I mean? You felt like you were getting hit by a fucking bus, and you weren't even in the ring. You're watching it through a fucking television. That's how you do a clothesline. Some 360 fucking bullshit choreographed flip don't make it look like you're actually a fucking badass. Just my opinion. I don't want to see a fucking Jungle Boy clothesline flipping a guy inside out. Get the fuck out of here. Stan Hansen would fucking murder Jungle Boy with a clothesline. And I love Jungle Boy. So I don't want to see that, but there's a fucking way. There's a way about it. You know what I mean? There's a fucking reason it is what it is.
If I had my eyes closed and if I raised the pitch of your voice a little bit using whatever special effects, I would say you sound exactly like Jim Cornette right now. In a good way. In a good way. You're right.
Okay, but here's the thing. Jim Cornette is like, fuck Jim Cornette too. If hopefully this gets back to him. No, obviously we're not on the level of Jim Cornette. I respect Jim Cornette's old school style.
Yeah.
I respect Jim Cornette as what he's done, but Jim Cornette's this fucking guy that he sat there sucking the McMahon dick and fucking milking McMahon's money and fucking twiddling his taint. So all these years with all this bullshit WWF toy garbage, this circus bullshit, and now he wants to come out and cry about people who wrestled a blow-up doll or wrestled a fucking 9-year-old girl. Bro, if Kenny Omega can make him wrestling a 9-year-old girl look fucking fun and great, what the fuck is wrong with that? That's props to Kenny. That's props to Kenny Omega. The whole Ric Flair could make a broom look good. I mean, well, Kenny Omega went out there and made a little 9-year-old girl look good. How about you take that? You want to talk about Ric Flair making a broom look good? How about Kenny went out there and made a little girl look good? Okay? So stop. Just stop. You're so full of shit. You're such a fucking phony. It's like I can't even listen to him for the stuff I'm interested in listening to him for because he just goes so overboard and he has no fucking... I get it. He's playing a character too, and he's kind of doing it because it's a brand. But Cornette believes a lot. He really does feel this way. If you were to ask me, like I could, just my opinion, I think he really feels this way. Obviously, maybe he goes overboard with it because it's a character.
Yeah.
But he definitely feels this way.
No, he does. He exaggerates
it's almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're doing it so much and so over the top, and you can't even give props when they do good shit because you have this mindset. Listen, what do? Yeah, we're critical. I'm critical of this shit, but I'm gonna give you props when you fix it or you change it or when I see you do something good. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna keep shitting on you just because I dislike that. You're fucking. Doing split fucking bounces on a guy's chest, for a move. If you stop doing that and you're doing better stuff and you're looking good and not like everything's set up, I'm going to fucking say, yeah, you're doing good. This match was good. That match was good. But when you're doing shit that I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And I don't think it works, I'm going to call it. It's like we say, we love AEW. This is anything. It's like, Alan, I'll never fucking tell you, I'm never going to lie to you and tell you you're doing great when you're doing shitty just because I don't want you to feel bad. You're my friend. You know what I want you to do? I want you to do better. So I want to tell you the fucking truth. It's just like that with AEW. AEW is our friend. And we'd be bad friends if we didn't call out the bullshit. Yep. But we're also going to fanboy the fuck out for the good shit. So, anyway, I got into that little diatribe about the fucking clotheslines. It just happened to be that I saw that clip and it just brought me back to it. And then talking about the clothesline with these two just kind of made me think about it. So, sorry about that. Yeah. That was not in my notes at all. It just fucking all popped in my head.
And you forgot to put up the flames, man. That needed the Cornette part needed the flames.
Yeah. Him and that fucking cuck, Brian Last. Hey, Brian, I'm in New Jersey, man. What's up? I believe you're in New Jersey, too, you fucker. Yeah.
You want to come on, Brian?
So,
I would. Let's say, you know what? He wants to come on. He wants to debate Cornette with us. Might be a good show.
No, man. I don't want to deal with that guy. Fucking Cornette. That fucking guy. All the fucking nonsense bullshit WWF put on. How often does he fucking drag down WWF? Barely ever. Barely ever. He'll say some stuff here and there, but let's be real, man. You're sucking that WWF circus tit forever, and
actually to be fair, he and Lass actually have been really shitting on their stuff lately quite a bit with NXT and the pay-per-views. They have
been. Current stuff.
Yeah.
But he's also off the tit. Right? Yeah. He's off the tit now. So he how bad does he talk about the era when he was on the tit?
Not so much, except for talking about Russo. So there you go.
Very, very rarely, yeah. Right?
That's relatively rare.
But they get the pass. They get the pass. You could talk about fucking Bastion Booger, and he won't. he'd be like, oh, yeah, we had to get the guy over, but they'll talk about fucking Kenny Omega wrestling a 9-year-old girl, and it'll turn into a 45-minute fucking rant about some bullshit.
Yeah.
So, come on, man. I mean, what's fair is fair. Don't talk this shit to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to start us off with Late Night Dynamite?
Yeah. So and it's funny. I got to tell you something. I got so confused by the programming this week. I legit thought for a minute that Late Night Dynamite was replacing Dynamite this week. I thought it was going to be. What's that?
We talked about this at the end of last week. It was Tuesday night.
We did.
And Wednesday was the regular show.
We did. But
you had a brain fart?
I had a brain fart. And I've lost some brain cells due to work. And when the show came on and I was taking notes and watching it, and I don't know what made me almost forget. I almost had forgotten that the next night, they're actually having their regular Dynamite now. So anyway. Right.
So your notes are fiery.
No. Oh, no. It has nothing to do with whatever we're showing, whatever wasn't. But no, the Late Night Dynamite was a good. I loved it as a supplemental show.
Right. Real quick.
Yeah.
Again, what surprised me was I almost forgot about it. I did forget about it, and I say almost because I actually caught it. I actually started recording it and caught the beginning before I went to bed because I didn't realize. I was like, oh, shit. I thought it probably went off at like 11, 10 o'clock, something like that. By 12:30, I was getting ready to go to bed. Or a little before that, like 12:15 or so, I was getting ready to go to bed. And I was like, fuck, man, maybe there's replay. So I popped on the TV real quick, went to record it. And they were still on the post game for the NBA. And I was like, oh, shit. So I recorded that because in case during the post game it went into the show, I didn't know how because I do Hulu now, so I don't know how they're before and after works. Like I don't know how to extend it, or if you can extend it or put 10 minutes before or whatever. So I didn't know how it would time out. So then I recorded the show, and then I recorded the post game after the show, after the Late Night Dynamite. So just so I had it all in a big block in case any of it got cut off or ran into another block. So it went on, I believe, literally almost to the minute. Went on at 12:36, if I'm not mistaken, is when Late Night Dynamite went on air. At 12:36 on a Tuesday night, which is a weeknight. Okay, yes, it's coronavirus. Pandemic. Yes, some people aren't working or are working from home and can stay up a little later. But at 12:30 on a work night, I'll be honest, around here, all the parking's been taken up around my place for 6 months.
Yeah.
It's like always full. Even when I leave, it's full. The last few weeks, it seems people are getting back to work because there's a lot of empty spots now when I'm getting out in the morning. So for a weeknight, a work night, at 12:36, they did over 500,000 viewers.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
That is crazy. I mean, I myself missed it. I was waiting for it to come on. I had talked to you about that. I had to go to bed. I mean, I work from home, and I get up at like 8:30 in the morning. That being said, man, usually I'm in bed by midnight.
Yeah, same here. Here. I passed out. I watched a match and a half. I got through halfway through the women's match, and I was passed out. I woke up and I just turned everything off, and I rewatched it all the next day.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Before Dynamite.
Had to do it the next day, exactly. So yeah, I was impressed.
So sorry, I didn't mean to cut in. And,
no,
I'm bad at telling stories.
I'm glad you brought that up though, because it is a good way to frame this. It's like, yeah, I am impressed with the numbers that it did, considering when it showed, because it really showed in a very bad spot. All things considered. So yeah, I was glad when I finally got to see it. And I think that's a part of what confused me too, is because the fact that I did watch it on Wednesday, and then Wednesday was the real Dynamite show. So I think that confused me as well. But yeah, I mean, again, as a supplemental show, it was great. I enjoyed, Jericho was on commentary for the show. I am at the point now where I'm beginning to enjoy Jericho more on commentary than I am as a character, just because I think he's hitting a wall. But he was great. But yeah, what? Not that many matches on this show. Again, very good supplemental show. We started things off. Well, first of all, yeah, so it's Jim Ross, Troy Schiavone, Excalibur, and Jericho on commentary. That's a lot of guys on commentary. But overall, I still think the commentary flowed nicely. And yeah, we started things off with Scorpio Sky and Ben Carter. Decent match. I thought it was.
I felt they put on a clinic. These guys,
absolutely. So
I mean, Carter's 23. Here's the thing. I took these notes before dark, so my notes are a little different here. Like obviously, I was talking about Carter earlier, and in my notes here, he's only 20. They said 23 on dark, but I thought they said 22 on Late Night Dynamite. Either way, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
And he's super clean for that age in the ring. I was very impressed with him. Just like I said about Dark.
Yeah.
Again, his facials maybe need some work, but he's definitely quick and he's got some look.
Yeah, and I'm impressed. It was it wasn't a really quick match as far as like the speed of the moves and such. They did really well there, and yet we still got to see things like we saw an abdominal stretch, which is great. I like seeing that in the middle of a match like this, where you get to bring down the pace a little bit, and to have something like that. You had you had them trading wrist control. That was cool to also see, which is something that's not often done. So yeah, overall, really great match. Sky, wins with the big boot to the face, TKO pin, and they had the sportsmanship thing at the end. He helped Carter get up, gave him a hug, raised his arm. So yeah, it was a really nice way. It's one of those matches where you want to begin the show on a high note. You want to get if there was a full live crowd there, it would have gotten them hyped up for the show to have something like that started off. So programming wise, placement was really good, and yeah, really enjoyed the match.
Yeah, usually I hate that sportsmanship shit. It works in that part, with these two. Obviously, it's more like, hey, two faces going head to head. But what kind of like when I was doing a little bit of that watching a little bit of Ring of Honor during the Jay Lethal title run with when he had the TV title and the world title. I was watching a little bit more Ring of Honor than and they always did the stupid honor handshake, and I'm like, that is part of like making the show about acrobatics, and that's one thing that never really grabbed me about ROH was not enough story. Like there was story, but I didn't feel there was enough like angles, interviews and promos and all that stuff to make it that much better. It was like, oh, it's handshake, honor, let's just go out there and put on a good match.
Yeah.
So as much as I dislike that, I don't mind it in a match where it's like, and listen, my Ring of Honor is very tiny sample size. So please, if you're a Ring of Honor mark, because I know there's tons of them out there, cry me a fucking river. I don't care. It's just what I thought and what I seen for like my little 4-month stretch of watching Jay Lethal, because I love Jay Lethal. So, but yeah, that kind of just came to mind with, again, something just popped in my mind about that like handshake bullshit. But it worked. I get it in this situation. AEW really doesn't do it, so it doesn't bother me. But they would always do that in any wrestling program when you had two faces. They would either shake before, shake after, help, one, the loser would raise the winner's hand, blah blah blah. So that worked.
Yeah.
So let me start this one because I want to start this one. All right, because I know how you feel, and you know how I feel too about Brandy. So, but I'm gonna start this one.
I'll let you start this one. Go for it.
I gotta say it was a pretty good match. Brandy had her best match yet. I think. I think it was a good match. I think Brandy did very well in the match. She didn't look so hesitant or staged or, like she wasn't waiting around as much. Very much more believable than usual. So I don't want to kill it. The finish to the match was good. A little robotic when Brandy got attacked and got the sleeper put on her. She was basically facing Anna Jay too much. Anna Jay's supposed to get her from behind, but she was like almost facing her, so it kind of like it looked a little robotic and mishapped and whatnot. So that kind of threw it off. Other than that, I felt it wasn't that bad of a match. Both women did pretty well. I'm not going to say it blew the doors off, but considering it's Brandy, I mean, Brandy looked like a fucking, she looked like she could out wrestle. She can make a broom look good. You know what I mean? In this match, considered what she usually does. One thing I will note before I move on to you with this is I dislike that the ref didn't do the 3 hand drops before calling her out. I don't know why, but AEW has done this a few times. This happened on Dynamite as well, in the main event, and we'll get to that. But it's annoying. You know, there's things in wrestling that are wrestling. Don't change what wrestling is in the most fundamental basics, okay? Obviously, wrestling's going to evolve and change to a degree, but there are things that should not change in wrestling, and that's one thing that should never change. Why are you not doing the arm 3 times? That's been a staple in wrestling forever. Why now do you look at them and go, oh, she's out? Okay. If it's the UFC, I understand. You know, I think I've given them the pass on that, thinking in the style of UFC. That was probably a couple months back when we did a podcast. So maybe I'm kind of going back on what I said then. The UFC's kind of brought you to a world where you could kind of tell they're out. So, but you know what? I want the 3 arm drop. I do. The more I'm sitting here thinking about it and watching, I go, it annoyed me. So I had to make a statement on that. So go ahead. What do you got on this match otherwise?
So, I mean, you definitely feel a little bit differently from me with Brandy. I do think she looked a little bit better, maybe marginally better in this match. And I'm going to attribute that to, I think, Anna Jay served as a very good partner for the match, which was really good because you did want to see them work very well together, considering the fact that we're supposed to be having a feud here. Mm-hmm. I still think my biggest problem with Brandy is that when I watch her wrestle, I feel like there is this imaginary wall of molasses. And every time she swings or does a move or runs or does whatever, she's going through this wall of molasses. She looks like she's in slow motion.
She hits it and then the arm slows down, right? Is that what you...
Yes.
Okay, I got it. It's like she'll swing for like a clothesline and the arm slows down.
Now...
Okay. Yes, 100%. That's the best way it's been described. I could not describe it in any better of a way, but that is fucking flawless of how to describe what you see when she wrestles. And honestly, a lot of the women wrestlers have this, especially the ones that are green.
They do. But I even in the greenest...
They're afraid of impact.
They're afraid of impact.
It's like...
Exactly.
They're afraid of impact.
Exactly. But even in the greenest of green, I've never seen it as bad as I've seen it with Brandy. And my level of OCD is so off the charts that when she does that, it makes my balls singe. It's just, I'm in such pain over it. I'm just like, what's that meme with that movie? It's like, well, we're waiting. It's like you're waiting for her to just finish through and carry through with her moves. And it drives me freaking nuts. Because the thing of it is the way she moves, you can have a dilapidated monkey be able to see her coming from 3 miles away. Oh, I know how to counter this because look how long it's taken for her to get to finish what she's doing. Right. It drives me nuts. I do think that mechanically she looked better in this match. Don't get me wrong. So I agree with you there that mechanically she definitely looked better, but she still has to do something with her follow through. Her follow through is for shit, and it drives me nuts. And I think that it says a lot to Anna Jay, who again is very rapidly becoming a very good worker. I think she's improving in leaps and bounds. And I think it says a lot that for this rookie Anna Jay, that she made Brandy look pretty decent. And that says more to her than Brandy's ability, in my opinion, just at least for looking at this match by itself. The whole thing with the chokeout, I completely agree with you. Brandy did not know how to position herself for that, which is just ridiculous.
Right.
To not know how to
Right.
position yourself for a move like that, it's the finishing move of the match. You know what you're leading to, you know what's coming, and you're facing in the wrong direction, and it just kills the
Right.
entire momentum of the finish.
Yes. Yes.
And then
Well, leave it to Brandy.
leave it to Brandy. And then until you brought it up, I honestly didn't even think about this. The fact that you're right, they don't do the lifting the hand 3 times. I didn't even think of that until you just brought it up. I totally missed that. You're right. I don't think I've ever seen that in AEW. And it's not only a part of traditional wrestling, it induces drama. Like what you see there.
Right.
You know, here's the thing. Say what you want about Hogan. I know you hate Hogan. But that thing where they would lift the arm, then that 3rd time, he does the finger, he's like this, everybody loses their shit. There is something to that, to the drama of that. And then when you do have that arm drop the 3rd time, it's like, oh my God, okay, it's over. You're right, there's no drama. It's like, I think you're out. Yeah, she's out. Ring, ring, ring. It's like, it's silly. You do need that drama, and you need that step of, you're right, you're lifting the arm. So, I don't know where they go from here now, obviously. It's like, I don't know if you could really, how much more you can continue a feud like this. I guess we'll see. I mean, with Cody back, which we'll talk about, I envision some kind of a tag match. We'll see. God help us. But, you know.
I envision something we talked about last week getting even worse.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
that, yeah. So, yeah, you know, overall, better than what we've seen, but it drives me nuts watching Brandy wrestle. It just drives me crazy. I feel like I need to make sure every time I watch her wrestle, I need to watch a tape so that I can speed up and increase the speed to make it look regular, like to make it look like a normal follow through.
1.5 speed.
1.5 speed. You got to watch every Brandy match in 1.5 speed to be able to have it look like a regular match.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. All right, so then we get a Scorpio Sky promo. It was weird that Sydal came in. It got off in the weeds. It felt a little awkward and not clean at all. If this was taped, I don't know why they wouldn't just reshoot the promo to make it make sense. Because anybody who rewatched it, you had to look and go, the fuck was that disaster? Should have just let Scorpio continue his promo and skip the Sydal part. You know, just... You know,
yeah, I agree.
I mean, they wanted. You know what it is that I think they wanted to they wanted to make the connection that they were buddies because I believe he came out and saved Sydal at the end, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't have that on my notes, but if my memory served me right, which doesn't always serve me right, so But do you really need that to serve the connection? I don't think you did. I think it's kind of like overkill. You're doing that, but there's certain things you're not doing that you should be doing. You know what I mean? Like you're doing that where you don't really need to, but you're just missing the ball. You're dropping the ball on other things where you need to be doing shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then what do you got? You got anything on the promo yourself or
no? I agree with you. I pretty much agree with your take on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we got Sydal versus Spears. I didn't pay close attention to the match, honestly. What I did see was pretty good. I did catch Sydal, which this is funny as fuck, was he wipes the turnbuckle down as he's going to go up top to get on the turnbuckle. Excuse me. And, I just liked it. He took his hand, he wiped around the turnbuckle, and then he climbed up. So he didn't, quote unquote, slip. So I got a kick out of that. I thought that was fun. Fun little part.
Yeah.
Other than that, I got nothing on the match. I mean, what I did pay attention to was good.
Yeah, not so much specifically on the match. I had that in my notes too. I love that's great. When they acknowledge the fuck up like that, it's right. Endearing.
And that's like, listen, there's goof shit and funny shit that works. That fucking works. Yep. It's calling back to an actual fuck up. You know what I mean? He's like, real quick, I'm going to come up. Let me wipe the fucking turnbuckle off. Then he hops up. That works. That's a funny thing that works and makes a show better. Not stupid fucking, let me go get a fucking step stool and climb up and throw a choke slam on a guy and have Luchasaurus be the guy that choke slams him for me, even though I'm showing like I'm choke slamming him. Like, that stuff's that stuff ruins a show versus where what Seidel did really enhanced the show and, brought a nice little chuckle to you and kept it going,
Yep.
It wasn't overly done or whatever.
Yep.
So, you ready to move on to Dynamite?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. My God, I almost forgot that was the last note of the show. It's like, this is a short show. But, again, as a supplemental show, it worked out really well.
Yeah, it was pretty good. All right, so do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, so,
do you need flames? Do I need flames?
I don't necessarily need flames here, but I think that this first match encompassed almost everything that's wrong with this promotion right now. It's just like, well, again, you have my least favorite combination of Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela with Kip Sabian, who I actually do like, and freaking Miro. And, Miro actually, I don't know if you saw, apparently it wasn't very serious, but he did get injured during this match.
Yeah, I saw
minor injury.
Turns out it was legit.
It was legit. He should be okay. I just, nothing really worked for me here in terms of just overall ring chemistry. And if you were going to give Miro an initial, you want to give him his first match in AEW, this was the last fucking thing you want to do with him. To put him in there, not only in a tag team, but with these fucking ass. I'm sorry. I just do not like Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. That was the worst possible thing you could have done. Any heat that this guy had going in, and I get, I still don't think he came in the right way. I still think he should have been the Bulgarian bastard, killing people left and right. I get what he's doing in there. But this just took him and his character off a cliff, in my opinion. There's nothing about the match that I just really think worked well. But again, I hate to say this, but I kind of feel like whoever faces Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela, they have a handicap going against them to begin with just being in there with them. It completely just takes apart the entire match just having them in there. You could put Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela up against Ric Flair and Sting, and it's going to make Ric Flair and Sting look like total douchebags who don't have an ounce of wrestling experience under their belt. That's what happens when you do something like this. I guess I should have had the flames. I don't know. There was nothing I liked about this at all. And again, not only did Miro get hurt, but he looked like an asshole. I don't know. That's what I got.
So, sadly, this is Miro's first fucking in-ring appearance. And you put him in there with Indie-rific Express. They want to be the new Express, Midnight Express. They should be called the Indie-rific Express, all right? Because they are fucking Indie-rifically Express. That's it. You fucking dumbed down Miro to this fucking disaster. Okay, I know you like Kip. I'm not the biggest Kip fan. I could get with Kip. Okay, I was okay with the pairing of the two. I know you had a different mindset on Miro. But I've been okay with the Sabian Miro thing, letting it play out. And I'm not mad at that side of it. I'm mad that they put him in there with the Indie-rific Express. They are no longer Janela and Kiss. They are the Indie-rific Express. Write that down for a t-shirt.
The Indie-rific Express. Okay, I'm going to have to do this.
All right. So, all right. Here, I'm going to try to read it's a long little note here, but Janela's tagged in. Kiss hasn't even got out of ring, and Janela wants to tag. Janela, Kiss, instead of going out of the ring, hesitates, right? Instead of leaving the ring, even though Janela wants to tag, it kind of throws Kiss off. Kiss steps back in the ring before he gets out, right? And Janela and him tag inside the ring. That's not a fucking legal tag.
Nope.
And the ref doesn't even the ref did do his job. Then they do their moves and Kiss does the pin. I'm sorry, no, the ref didn't do his job because Kiss does the next move set, goes for the pin, and the ref counts the pin. Kiss, okay, so let me rewind it because maybe this gets lost in translation and my fucking reading of it because I did fumble in a sec because I had the wrong notes. Janela is tagged in. Right?
Yep.
Janela comes in.
Yep.
Kiss goes to get out of the ring. I don't know why they did this quick back tag to begin with, okay? I think maybe Janella wanted Kiss to do a double team with him, and Kiss went to get out of the ring, and then Janella goes to tag Kiss so he could get that double team going. And Kiss isn't even out of the ring completely on the apron, comes right back in. They tag each other while they're in the ring, holding this guy. And then Janella leaves the ring, and Kiss is now supposedly the legal man, which he isn't. And does a move set and gets the pin, goes for the pin. The ref counts it. My fucking brain exploded when I saw this. It's just like, what the fuck am I watching? It's like you said, they literally are digressing. I felt like early on, like, you know, Janella was doing okay. I was like, why people shit on him so much? Sure, he got stubby legs and runs funny. He runs the ropes funny and he got stubby legs, but he's doing pretty good. He's literally digressed to like fucking first year wrestler. Then you got Sonny Kiss, who was doing the shit he's doing now way more early, then kind of went away from it as much, then is doing it again. And that's another one that does the molasses wall. That's another shirt. Write it down molasses. Real quick. The molasses wall. Kiss hits the molasses wall constantly. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? So that just boiled my fucking blood. And it like, I don't know, like, fuck the ref too. All right, fuck the ref too.
One other shirt, by the way, I'm gonna have to say that digressing is gonna have to be a shirt, because I think you mean he's regressing. Digressing is when you're going off topic on something you're speaking about, like, well, I digress, but that's pretty funny.
Regressing, yes. I apologize.
No, I love it. That's a good shirt. I put that. That's a shirt. He's digressing.
Sometimes, remember last week, my big words? Sometimes my big words, I fucking don't use them right. Most times I do, but...
No, I liked it. He's digressed.
I digress.
He's digressed.
He's regressing. I'm digressing right now.
Oh, my God.
And I, you know... There was like Kiss going for the hot tag sequence. The whole thing was shit. It fucking looked so bad, man. I don't know. The shit on the out, and it's funny. Like, I feel like the match got like 100 times worse when it got to the outside. All right, Miro hurts himself. Miro tells Kip to run in. I'll flip you over onto Janella. They do it. Something happens in between. Kip fucking goes in crooked or sideways and lands on his fucking head. Then you got Janella screaming. Bro, you're on national fucking TV, bro. He's screaming, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Like, bro, you're on national fucking TV, my dude. What the fuck are you yelling for? You gotta, like, this ain't VFW Hall 227. All right? And I use that number as a throwback. This ain't VFW Hall 227, bro. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, they fucking completely jacked up Miro's first in-ring fucking showing. You were pissed at the debut, and I'm pissed at this in-ring fucking debut overall.
It kills this entire angle now, in my opinion. You can have
Jesus
you can
Christ,
have the most entertaining angle, I guess, off out of ring in terms of what they're trying to do here with this whole best man gimmick, but all it takes is one shitty match to make everybody not care about it anymore, and this is about as shitty match as you can get for that to take place.
100%.
So yeah. All right. Well, we either got 2 or 3 shirts out of that one rant, so this is great. I'm building up the list. We're going to have a whole wardrobe ready for people when the time comes.
That's right.
A different shirt for every day of the week.
Yeah, so send us emails that you're listening, and it's worth us making T-shirts for.
Yes, please. We want to make shirts.
Yeah, just because we think they're funny.
Exactly.
So then we get into Eddie Kingston, the promo. Fucking amazing, dude. I loved how he's like, you're up there with the circus. I was out there, we were once cut from the same cloth. You're up there playing sports entertainment. I'm out here playing in the streets, whatever. I love that he called Mox out. Mox comes. Okay. Mox comes out. They have their face off, and I like that it didn't get into a brawl. I like that the rest came out. They kind of separated them, and they both kind of backed off respectfully. But it really helped set up for the main event, which was a spur of the moment main event, which we failed to kind of talk. I meant to talk about this before Dynamite, but the main event was changed from the 6-man to Kingston versus Moxley because Lance Archer tested positive for Corona. So that kind of took the wind out of the sails there. I feel like that promo should have actually opened the fucking show instead of that disaster of a match. They still got a lot of people who watch the show and the ratings, but I'm surprised that people didn't just bail after that first match. I will say with the promo, they did use the fact that he didn't get eliminated officially from the Battle Royal as a reason to give him this title shot. I don't know if they had other plans to use that. It kind of sucks if they did. But, I mean, I guess they had to use the trick that was in their hat, and give a solid main event.
Yeah.
So,
I think they worked well with what they had to work with. Again, when something like that happens, when just out of nowhere, okay, dude tests positive for COVID, we got to move quickly. From a scrambling perspective, I think they did a very good job. With what they had to work with, I think they did a good job.
I feel like they were going somewhere with that story. Otherwise, they wouldn't have Kingston mentioning it. But now I'm kind of curious where they were going, and I'm sure it probably would have been a lot better than where it ended up going because of certain circumstances beyond their control.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Absolutely.
You got anything on a promo and such?
No, I mean, it was great. I mean, again, Kingston is gold on the mic. He really is. I'm glad they're doing a lot with him. I'm glad they're actually taking advantage of his mic skills. So he's great. And then of course, Kenny Omega joins commentary, and you know what that means. Every time Kenny Omega joins commentary, it means it's going to be a Hangman Page match.
Yes.
And
for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see what they're doing here.
I think this is like they were supposed to possible tag match, and they decided not. Kenny didn't want to be in the tag match or something.
Right, and they're trying to go with the story here that every time Hangman Page is wrestling, I see what they're doing with this. They got Kenny Omega on commentary, not giving a flying fuck at all. He's just like, well, yeah, I still just want to be singles. Yeah, I guess he's doing good. Yeah, he looks good. He's trying to give this. I have no fucks left to give when it comes to Hangman Page, but I think I know where they're going with this. I think they actually do have him out there every time on commentary. He's studying him, and there's going to be a point where he is going to go all cleaner on him, and that's going to basically be what this leads to. He's going to want to destroy him. He's watching him. He's studying him. He's trying to.
I like that.
Right? He's trying to get with to see how he's doing as a singles competitor. He's acting like it's blasé. Match ends. All right, bye, guys. He leaves. I kind of think that's what they're doing with this. Is they're trying to make this a setup.
I didn't even think of something like that. I like that idea.
Yeah. That'd
be a smart way.
Yeah, I didn't feel this last week.
Yeah, because otherwise, why is he out there every week?
Why is he out there every week?
Other than all these were supposed to be, tag matches, and they don't want to be a tag. Other than that, what's the reason?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. So that's what I do think they're doing here, and if that is what they're doing with here, then I like it. Because you know what the end of the road is. It's Omega going full cleaner and going heel. It's how you get there, though. And if this is how they've chosen how to get there, they're obviously going to have to move it along a little bit, where maybe the next time he comes on commentary to watch a Hangman Page match, there's going to have to maybe be somewhat of a little bit of interaction. Maybe Omega gets up to leave. As he's leaving, Hangman Page rolls out of the ring, runs up, turns him around. What are you doing? You're here watching me, blah, blah, blah. and they can
Yeah.
build it a little bit more with there. So if that's what they're doing though, then great. But
I like that.
Yeah.
One of the fucking funniest things was Kenny on commentary saying that the vest is not only isn't only to cover up his hideous physique, it's also to help him from against the chops.
I did like that too, actually.
poor Evil Uno, man. I mean, he got shit on. I will tell you this: I've been saying it since the beginning of AEW. People shit on Dark Order, even when it was Uno and Grayson, and Uno is fucking good.
Yeah,
he is fucking good. He's a good wrestler. He's a good psychological. He does good with the psychology. He does good keeping the match slowed down. He does such a good storytelling job in the ring, and he's not getting respect from anybody.
Yeah.
Dork Order, bro. Stop and look at Uno and watch Uno and listen to Uno. He's good, man. He's really fucking good. These guys put on an amazing fucking match. And I think Hangman is one of the best in AEW in terms of just straight wrestling.
Totally.
Always clean, always good, always a good match. I think he's one of the best. And
I think that's why when they do eventually set up this feud with him and Omega, that's going to be a really well wrestled feud, I guess is the best way to say it. They're going to work well together.
I don't know why I had this, but do you feel any Rick Knox Dark Order vibes? Like, do you feel, or was it maybe just did they hint at that? Did they hint that he was helping you? Remember with the leg, he'd throw the leg.
Yeah, you're right.
And he didn't catch Uno's, but he caught Hangman's or whatever.
You're right. Until you just
they kind of made
that,
reference to it.
Yeah, you're right.
Some Nick Patrick NWO vibes going on, huh?
That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
There's never anything wrong with an evil referee.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, evil ref.
Now,
Danny Davis is always my favorite in that regard. I thought that he was like the godfather of the evil referee. Obviously, Nick Patrick was then the father, but yeah.
Now, I listen, I took that cue from the announcers. So
sure.
They didn't blatantly say, oh, he's pro and, he's Dark Order. But I'm just saying, I kind of took the cue. Oh, he caught Hangman's leg, but he didn't catch Uno's leg. They kind of made a reference to it. So it's almost like, are they making a reference to it to put your mindset in that direction or what? And if that's the case, they already got me pointing in that direction.
Yep.
So let's keep an eye on Rick Knox
yep.
and Dark Order over the next month or so. So what do you got in terms of this match overall? Like, what's your take?
No, I mean, overall, like I said, I thought the match was great. Again, I mean, Hangman Page, like you said, looks really, really good in the ring.
For sure.
And I like just what they're doing storytelling with it when it comes to Omega. So yeah, I loved it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the next one.
Okay. So then we got Matt Jackson promo with Tony Schiavone. Wasn't great, wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was in between. It's funny. He's like, oh, that's not a real pocket, and he just throws the money in the air. The heel shit was a little forced.
It was, because again, they're not that great at that. They're just not that great at it. They're, that's what they're trying to do, but
right.
Yeah.
They're a specific heel to me. They're the slimy, smarmy,
the douchey heel.
Yeah,
they're the douchey
exactly.
heel.
Like the arrogant douche heel. Oh, like Shawn fucking Michaels. That's their fucking hero, whatever. The super kicks.
Yeah.
Like Shawn Michaels-esque. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe they'll find their way. Maybe it's just a little too much.
Yeah.
That's really all I got on that.
That's all I got on that too.
We get to Brodie and Orange Cassidy.
Which, by the way, this match contained my favorite moment of the entire night.
Okay.
That shit with Anna Jay barking at Cassidy. Cassidy just puts his shades on her. First of all, she looked hot as hell with those shades on. I don't know what it was. She looked great with those. Just her dumbfounded look when he did that, though, was just, I loved it. Yeah. That was my favorite moment of the entire night, honestly. It was just
hot as hell with shades on. Is that a new shirt?
Hot as hell with shades on.
No, that's stretching it. That's stretching it. Dude, John Silver is fucking gold, man.
Yeah.
I don't always watch Being the Elite, but he's gold on that, and he's bringing. They're doing it the right way, I think, on the real show, on the actual show.
Yeah.
They're not over the topping it like they are on Being the Elite, and Brodie's not playing the over the top Being the Elite character, but I mean, Silver he's so fucking good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of found that niche. He's a small guy. He might not ever go too far in the company in terms of, like, you know, world title or tag title or anything, but, you know, I think he's really carved out a good spot what he's doing. I really liked the beginning. It was a lot of contrivances, but it worked. It almost felt like it was a lot of it, but it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, because it kind of fits Orange Cassidy. So at this point, you know it's Orange Cassidy. So you go with it. You run with it. You enjoy it. You laugh at it. You or not even laugh. You just, you know, you smirk at it and you go, oh shit, you know. I love the part in the match where you expect everybody ball. You see Dark Order starting to ball up so Orange could dive, right? And you expect it's just them balling up like typical wrestling bullshit. So Brodie Lee, as he's running, as Orange Cassidy's running, Brodie Lee just nonchalantly walks off and lets Dark Order stand there. And what was Dark Order doing balled up? They were just there to catch him.
Yep.
So they catch him. Brodie runs in the ring and hits his dive. They hold him for Brodie to go do his dive. I liked that. The ball up bullshit, they kind of played off of it and turned it into something real instead of some bullshit, you know, 20 people to catch somebody bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I really like that. It was a great match, a good match. I love that he used John Silver again to take the orange punch. You know, he pulled him in, used him to take that punch. And then we'll sort of talk about the end together. Let me see what do you got in terms of the match till the end?
No, I like the match. I mean, yeah, like you said, the involvement of the guys outside, it didn't really take away from the match the way that happens a lot. It actually worked with the flow of the match quite well.
Mm-hmm.
I loved when they were outside and you know, you had the Superman punch, got missed. It was a very, I love the flow with Silver with how that worked outside. With the other members of the Dark Order. Brodie looked very good in the match. I think, you know, when you have someone of Brodie's size mixing up with a small guy like Cassidy, I think they played to that very, very well in terms of how the overall flow and the symphony of the match went. And it, you know, despite Cassidy certainly did not look like he was just getting killed out there, but
he had his comebacks.
But Brodie still looked imposing, which I think was important for something like this. You had to have him look imposing, particularly, you know, facing somebody who's on a hot roll like Orange Cassidy is. So yeah, power bomb at the end was great, discus lariat, and that was it. You know, Brodie Lee wins. That's the way it should have gone, definitely. But then we got, oh boy, we got the next action figure variant for AEW, Bill. They're going to make one of these for every 50,000 figures that are ordered.
Oh, please don't do that.
Cody with dark hair.
Yeah, that whole lights go out. Cody's back. You know, it's way sooner than I would have liked.
Way sooner. I'm glad you agree with me on that, because I know that you and I got into a disagreement about this last week, where I felt that, you know, Cody should have been just completely off TV for a while.
But mine is not in your mindset though. Mine is just way sooner than I prefer him be back. I'm good with Cody not being around.
I agree. But you know what
It gives
else?
other people time to do some things. You know what I mean?
And do you remember? Obviously, you remember this is your favorite thing. I mean, with WCW, when Sting was gone for a while, right? He was gone for a while. When he finally showed up as Crow Sting, he showed up after the NWO had already been beating the shit out of everybody. They took over that entire company. There's nobody left for them to conquer, and then Sting shows up. We've yet to scratch the surface of the Dark Order. We talked about this last week. They have not been dominating this company that we thought they were going to. We should have gotten to the point where they were dominating this company first. And then Cody shows up. You've beaten everybody else. Now I'm back to come back at you. In that sense, he definitely came back too soon as well. So
here it's funny because like I have a similar outlook. We just spoke about Dark Order and what we felt last week, and I thought we did an okay job of getting over our points, so we won't go back over them. However, Cody comes back, right? Now, does this mean that they only took the title off of Cody for 5 because he was going to be away for 5 weeks? And Brodie's only going to have this tiny short run with it? And Cody's going to win it back?
That will suck if that happens. That will kill this entire angle.
Because, again, it's going to destroy Dark Order. It's not going to make Dark Order worth a fucking damn. I think, like you actually, I didn't even take that into consideration. That's a Sting NWO angle waiting to happen, and it almost would have been parallel to our thought process of NWO Dark Order, where Dark Order starts dominating. They beat up his family already. They continue maybe doing that and beating up everybody else. Then Cody comes back, 10 weeks later or whatever. Give Cody a fucking rest. Let him be away for the show. Give him a little rest. Let him focus on some story building or whatever behind the scenes, right? He comes back, starts saving people from the Dark Order, right? Running off the Dark Order. Whatever the fuck he does, then you build for another 6 months. You do the early pay-per-view next year, right? You make that the culmination. Like Starrcade 97 was the culmination.
Exactly.
Sting and Hogan. All right? Or even take it to Double or Nothing being your Starrcade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You take it all the way out there. Build it. Run that fucking year-long story. Brodie's a dominant champion. Brodie's running shit. Hogan's the dominant champion. He's got his crew running shit. Right? They're beating the fuck out of everybody. Now Cody just comes back, and if the goal is to put the strap back on him, which please, I fucking hope they don't just do that. Because what's the pay-per-view? When is the pay-per-view again? November?
I think it's November. Yeah.
Okay.
About a month.
So you're gonna have Brodie hold the title for about 2.5 months and drop it after he dominated Cody like that. I pray they don't. I pray they don't. I'm not a religious person, so I don't know why I said I pray. I think it's just a fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying? So,
but yeah,
it's just
yeah.
It just doesn't, like, if that's the case, it just doesn't make sense. Obviously I'm thinking ahead. Let's hope that that's not the way they go, because it'll just fuck everything up, and it'll just crush anything Dark Order does from that point on.
But
they're in a position now where it's almost like too many more bullshit things happening, and they could just completely destroy it for good anyway.
Yeah. But that was a good point where, yeah, right, because Double or Nothing is their equivalent of Starrcade, right, in WrestleMania. That's their big show.
Yes.
I completely agree with you. Exactly. You have Cody disappear until until then, or a few weeks before then.
Not disappear, but because Sting didn't disappear, Sting just would come in and out.
Yeah, okay.
So you have Cody come in and out throughout the time frame.
But definitely later,
and
later than now.
Right. Not like maybe at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? November. You know.
But you can have something going on here where, okay, here's where you can really tie this in nicely. You really want to make Dark Order a dominant force. You eventually get to the point where Brodie doesn't just have the TNT title; he takes the world title.
Okay.
He's got both belts.
I could get behind that. And I don't know.
Well,
I don't know about both belts though. I mean,
well, just to make him imposing, maybe there does get to a point there where somebody else in the Dark Order takes the TNT title. Let's just say you have all the titles within the family, right? Let's say you do something like that, and then when Cody does come back, that's where you finally say something goes down where now he's allowed to fight for that world title.
For the world title.
And that'd
be a great story tell too.
And that fight for the world title, then that is against Brodie Lee. And then that culminates at Double or Nothing.
I like
That's what you do. You see, I'm writing AEW for these guys. I swear, I'm writing the show for these guys.
Listen, TK as everybody calls you. They say you got thin skin. I'm not gonna believe that until you prove it to me. But if you want us to write the Dark Order, the whole Dark Order angle from here on out, hit us up.
There you go.
We'll actually dig in and write the Dark Order segments for you.
Because it is so
anyway.
It's so easy. If they just, again, you look at the blueprint of how they did the NWO. It's so easy to figure out how to do this storytelling where you have those parallels between Dark Order and NWO, Sting and Cody.
Super easy.
It writes itself.
And listen, they got YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You remember NWO Saturday Night?
Yeah.
How about Dark Order?
Exactly. Give them
Dark Order on YouTube.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
AEW Dark Order. And they have an hour-long show of them squashing fucking jobbers or doing whatever works. You know what I mean? So, all right, real quick, we gotta check the chat here because Kenny's back. Kenny says Cody looked more like a cult leader than Brodie did, really digging the new look. And he says, I agree, way too soon for Cody. So, yeah, I mean, he feels that as well.
Yeah, man.
And that's just like, you know, I mean, obviously, maybe I'm going a little far with the whole NWO Saturday Night, but it's almost like YouTube. You can have dark, you could have fucking 10 hour shows.
Yeah.
You know, you could have 10 separate 1 hour shows that you could consider almost like television, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, who's stopping you? You decide what you want on YouTube. And that would be a nice little way to get Dark Order over.
Absolutely.
Give Dark Order their own YouTube thing on your YouTube channel, you know?
Now this
anyway, yeah, that kind of aggravated me.
And you know, obviously then they do have that interview backstage where
very good
interview. Brodie challenges Cody to the dog collar match, and that's where I wonder exactly. So is that going to take place in November, and then is that going to be the end of it, or what do you do?
I think is it next week?
Well, he said that Cody has to give him his answer next week.
Oh, that's right, next week. Yes.
To get the answer.
You're right.
And here's the thing: they're not going to be. Oh, I'm probably going to regret saying this, but they're not going to be stupid enough to give away this match on free TV between the two of them. I would hope they would not do that. My thinking is that he's going to give him his answer, and that's October. You got about a month then, I guess, to build it for the pay-per-view where the dog collar match will actually take place on the pay-per-view. We'll see.
Shout out to our boy George in the chat.
What's up, George?
Morning, brother. It's morning over in Australia, so we want to say good morning to you.
Yep.
Good to see you in here, brother. Appreciate the support. I know it's mad early for you. You're probably on your way to work. But yeah, I really enjoyed the promo. I love the fucking, you know, what kind of self-respecting man allows his wife to post thirst traps on the internet. You know, I got a kick out of that. I'm down for the dog collar. It's been a long time since I've seen a dog collar match. So that's going to be fun.
Right? It has been a long. When was the last time they had a legitimate dog collar match? I can't remember.
I don't even fucking remember. I'm trying to remember the last one I seen in WCW. I feel like they had one in WCW.
They must have.
You obviously have the infamous one from Starrcade '83, I believe, was Valentine and Piper.
Yep, that's my favorite one.
But yeah.
And that match, I mean, for those who don't know, that match actually hurt Piper quite a bit. When Piper eventually went to WWF in '84, he had to be Big John Studd's manager for a while. He actually couldn't get into the ring because he was still hurt from that match. And it took a while for him to be able to get back on his feet and actually be able to wrestle again after that. So that was a brutal match for those who haven't seen it. I mean, dog collar matches in general can be very, very brutal. So, I am very impressed by the ingenuity of them going with something like that versus any other run-of-the-mill whatever match.
Hey, and Dasha and Anna Jay better unhand Dasha Gonzalez. Right? I'm putting that shit out there right now. Unhand that lady. You know what I mean? So you don't have anything else on that? We're pretty much
good.
Run down on that. All right. So we move to Hardy. He's doing a promo in the ring. Calls out Jericho. Calls him an asshole. Another great announcing moment today was, I believe it was Excalibur says, you won't see him put that on a T-shirt. And JR says, you never know. And he goes, if he does, you can find it on shopaew.com. So I really popped when he said that. It was like... And I think the funniest part about it was Jim Ross is right. Like, Excalibur saying, you won't see him put, Jericho's an asshole on the shirt. But then Jim Ross is like, you know what? If it'll make money, Jericho will fucking do it. He'll call himself whatever the fuck works. So
yeah,
I just really got a kick out of it. And then, of course, he goes on and plugs AEWshop.com and, or shopaew.com.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun. So then, of course, the Inner Circle comes out minus Sammy. Then they work Sammy back in. Oh, Sammy is here. Everybody's happy. I'm glad to see my boy Sammy. They exchange pleasantries with Hardy Party. I got this vibe that at that moment, Private Party was gonna attack Matt Hardy.
Yeah,
when they were in the ring.
I was thinking that too.
I was kind of expecting it. I guess the way they were flanking him, and then the whole, well, who did it? I didn't, that whole unsureness of it. So I feel like they might end up turning. I feel like in the long run, it might be them who attacked him. One of them who attacked him in the back.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this plays out. It was good to see Marquand get a little mic time, even though it was quick. Cassidy quickly grabs the mic from him. Marquand didn't sound too bad. Sounded like he was doing well. Cassidy did pretty good. I kind of felt it. I felt the promo. He felt believable. Unlike guys like the Bucks at times, and even Kenny at times. I think Kenny's doing better. But he basically says, I almost beat you twice, during that match, and challenges Jericho next week.
Yep.
Because Hardy can't go. So I thought it was a pretty good promo.
Definitely. And I'm glad that they're,
I really did.
I'm glad that they're finally, it feels like they are doing something with this, or they're trying to make it a little, you are wondering now about Private Party. So I liked it, definitely. And I'm curious to see where this goes next week. If a turn's going to happen, I kind of could see it happening maybe next week during that match, but let's see.
Really? I think maybe they stretch it a couple weeks to lead into the pay-per-view.
Maybe. Well, that's true. Yeah, there's still, that's true.
Maybe they keep hinting at it for 3 weeks.
Yep.
Maybe we're wrong in general, but that's a vibe I got.
Yeah.
When they were talking about the attack and stuff, and I seen him flanked by Private Party, I was like, I mean, technically that's what you have. You have your guys flanking you, but it was like, I get this vibe. Like I'm like my body was saying they were gonna attack him.
It was the body language of the flanking.
Yeah, just the visual of it, I think.
Yeah.
The far shot, the far hard camera.
Totally.
So that gave me the vibe. So Kenny says Private Party doesn't sound confident on the mic yet, but they did all right getting their message out. Yeah, 100%.
Agreed.
So then we move over. We got Tully and FTR cut the promo. Talk about they're going to now do a 20-minute challenge. If they take any team 20 minutes, it doesn't count as a draw. It goes as a win in their column. Say next week it'll be against SCU. That'll be the first challenge. They mentioned best friends and the Bucks. Best friends come out. They have a little words. They challenge FTR right then and there. We're not going to wait. We don't want to wait 2 weeks or whatever. So FTR go, okay, yeah, you want it? Okay, no problem. Tully, okay, let's do it. They get the refs all ready to do it. They're taking off their gear. The ref goes to ring the bell. He throws his arm up, and I believe it's Dax. Stops him, grabs his hand. Says, you know what? These guys are too fucked up. Yeah. We don't want to beat you while you're injured. We'll wait till you're healed up, and we'll fight you in the future. So, I liked it. I liked that little psychology there. I don't know how I feel about this 20-minute challenge thing.
My problem with that is it's a clever gimmick, but to say that you're going to have 20 minutes out of each show taken up by this, that's a long time. Yeah. That's a really long time.
I think I think they're going to do 20 minutes with certain people, probably best friends.
Yeah.
I feel like SCU will be, a shorter match, but I think they're just kind of throwing that out there. But again, it's like, is it too much of a gimmick? Is it too much of a gimmick?
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't know that I love it either.
Yeah.
I don't mind them being out there. They're almost taking over Cody's weekly challenge type of deal.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I guess in that sense, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it so much. Anything else? Nothing?
No. I do. Yeah, like basically they're saying maybe another week. So maybe I wonder if they're going to do this again next week, or if next week they are going to say, okay, fine, now we'll face you. I guess we'll find out.
Well, no, because they're facing SCU next week. So
that's true. I thought that they had said maybe another week, but that's what I had in my notes. But
it'll probably be the week.
It'll probably be the week after in that case. Yeah.
That's my assumption.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to Thunder Rosa and Shida versus Ivelisse and Diamante. Pretty decent match.
Oof.
I mean, you didn't think so? I thought it was. I thought it was a little better than last week, actually.
The thing I loved about this was the homage that Thunder Rosa paid to Animal with the face paint.
That was cool. That was very
fucking
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that was really awesome.
I agree. If anybody is going to be doing that, I mean, she's like the perfect character to do that with. So that was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I mean, for one of the women's division tag team matches, it wasn't terrible. A lot of action outside the ring, certainly amongst the four of them. But I didn't get the feeling with this specific match that there were further problems with Thunder Rosa and Ivelisse. So hopefully whatever happened there was cleared up. But no, not bad. Not much else to say about it, but I thought it was a decent match.
I thought it was a sloppy mess, personally.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah. Typical, when it comes to the women when they're green in AEW, it's just sloppy, it breaks down. It just, even the wrestlers who are clean start to look bad and, shit like that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's just happened to be a bad match. Maybe I'm just seeing it wrong or have different expectations. And I love Shida, so it's like I kind of felt like she wasn't doing as well either. So maybe as she goes, my brain goes, because I focus on her in ring
Sure.
because she's been the most steady,
Yeah.
and maybe I kind of equate if she's not having a good match to the whole match.
Maybe.
I mean, honestly, it could be it.
Maybe. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, anybody who listens to this during the week or whatever, send us your thoughts on email or send us a comment on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. I mean, what was your thought on that women's tag match, Ivelisse and Diamante versus Thunder Rosa and Shida? Was it thumbs up, thumbs down, a little sloppy, not so sloppy, a little bit, a little mix, like a lot? Let us know. So, where are we going next?
Well, now we got Dasha backstage with Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
About Isaiah Cassidy challenging him to a match, and MJF strolls up, and this is good. He basically said if someone is awful as Cassidy would disrespect Jericho, Jericho says it means a lot coming from the uncrowned champion. It means a lot. So a
lot of smoke blowing going on.
Yeah, I'm really beginning to wonder here because I remember when MJF had mentioned last week about possibly joining a Wolf Pack, and now he's got this back and forth going with Jericho, and normally I would say they're teasing something happening in between them, but they're not going to put them against each other. They're not going to have two heels face each other. It makes me wonder if this is kind of leading to something where, there's going to be a wolf pack, but the two of them are maybe going to run it. I don't know.
I think it's too much. Inner Circle's too big.
That's like, well, maybe it's something different. Maybe it's not Inner Circle. Maybe it's something else entirely.
If anything, if you want to use the terminology wolf pack, I could see Santana and Ortiz turning and joining MJF. They're wolves. They eat. They're hungry. They're street. As Jericho calls them, street thugs. And they're not really succeeding under Jericho. And MJF's from New York. They're from New York. So that could be the wolf pack right there.
That's a good. Yeah. No, that's a good. Good idea. Totally.
Never know. Kenny, as always, sends MJF 2021. He's just a great guy making friends with other talent. He's a giver. That's fucking great. That is good.
Yeah, so we'll see.
George says, okay, this promo was the best thing I've seen since the last time they cut a promo. I feel that Dynasty will come, I reckon possibly, but those two can really work a mic. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's too many people. Dynasty. What is Dynasty? That was a faction, right?
Sounds like a great name for a faction.
I thought that was a faction.
It was my favorite soap opera as a kid.
Something. Dynasty.
That was a great show, man.
George, give us a little more insight on that Dynasty line. Let me know where your mind is at there, so I can, but in terms of this promo, I love that the whole, how they played off that loser comment.
Yeah.
From the week prior.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he says, "Oh, that's right, Dynasty and MLW. Got you." Okay, I knew Dynasty from something. That's MJF's crew in MLW. I don't know much. It's Hammerstone and some other guy, okay. I believe. Maybe, but I don't think. I think Jericho and him are both too strong to be in the same faction.
Right.
Personally. But I loved how that loser comment, how they both weaseled their way out of that.
Yeah.
Like they didn't, and they also didn't play like they hadn't seen it. It's like, oh no, I seen what you said. I seen it on social media. And he goes, oh, I seen you say it during the broadcast when I was watching it. And, I love that they played that up and they weaseled their way out of it. It just shows they're both weasels in a way.
Yes.
And, they both meant, each other are losers and whatnot. So that was just fucking great, man. That was great. Like George said, I don't think it was the best thing. The show had a bunch of good promos, man, but I think it was definitely one, there were 3 amazing promos on the show, and all 3 could be number 1.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Jericho obviously accepts Cassidy's challenge for next week. And then they do that whole playoff. Kenny Waters says Passions was the best soap opera. # fight me on it.
Passions?
I'm going to say General...
Passions?
I'm going to... Listen,
I will fight you on that.
Passions. I'm going General Hospital. You don't realize, like 9th grade, I would come home and watch General Hospital. I was living with my aunt at the time. She would be watching General Hospital. I would watch General Hospital every day after school.
For me,
I'm like 8th, 9th grade.
For me, that was Days of Our Lives. I mean, my mom watched General Hospital as well, but for me, it would be Days of Our Lives during the day. But Dynasty was the best evening soap opera, man. That was nothing could top that.
Yeah, that's funny. Fucking my mom. It's funny. My mom's she's been watching General Hospital. I go to visit her on Friday nights to see she'll have my nieces, and she's there watching General Hospital as I'm playing with the kids. I'm like, what the fuck? She was never like a soap opera person, so it cracks me up.
Yeah.
She records it. She watches it. It's crazy. Oh man, how do we get from? I guess we go from men's soap opera to women's soap opera.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, George, for sure. I know who you're talking about. I don't know them well, but I knew the name from somewhere. I just wasn't sure from where. I do know the dude Hammerstone. Alexander's the other guy. I don't know him. I've seen them. I mean, I know him. I don't know him. I see Hammerstone on Twitter a bunch, so I see him a lot more. Kenny says, I was legit terrified of that witch laughing my ass off. There's a witch in Passions?
Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know like much about that stuff. What was yours? What did you say yours was?
My what?
Your soap opera?
Dynasty.
Yeah. Fuck, Dynasty.
Yeah. I mean, during the day it was Days of Our Lives, but for the nighttime soap operas, those are the serious soap operas.
These are the days of our lives.
That's right. Like sands through an hourglass.
Well, Dynasty was just a TV show, though.
Well, yeah, but it was technically
It wasn't a soap opera. It wasn't 365.
It wasn't a daytime soap, but Dynasty, Falcon's Crest, The Colbys, Knots Landing, those were evening soap operas. They worked a little bit differently. I guess they were a TV show, but they were more classified as soap operas.
Yeah, all right, you're cheating, bro. Time out. You're cheating, man. That's TV shows. I'm sitting here like, I know Dynasty, but I don't... No. What was your morning, daytime, 5 days a week soap opera?
That was Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives. Yes. Okay. Some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, man.
Bold and the Beautiful. George says his mom loves Bold and the Beautiful. And he says mom. He's fucking Australian, fuckers.
Well,
I don't say mom. I just repeated what he said.
Yeah.
No offense.
A coworker of mine, her husband actually is a producer on Bold and the Beautiful.
Really?
He's won a number of awards for it.
Is it still going on?
I think it is. Yeah.
All right, this show is digressing.
It's digressing. Completely. This is actually now we are digressing. We are truly.
Yes.
Now we're using it right. We're digressing.
Good thing I used that right.
Yes. All right. Well, yeah. Let's we'll wrap it up shortly.
Let's get to the main event.
Yeah. So
go ahead. I got little notes. I got little notes. So let's see what you got.
But yeah, Moxley Kingston. I thought this was a good match.
Very good match.
I thought it was really, really good. I wasn't really sure how Kingston was going to do. I wasn't sure if his style was necessarily going to mesh. Again, I think with him, his strength is certainly on the mic. But I thought they did a really, really good job. And there's not much really to say for me about the match itself. The match itself was good. I don't really have too many notes. I do have more of the note at the end of I did like the fact that Moxley locks in a sleeper, but he turns it into a bulldog choke.
Yeah, I like the bulldog choke.
That was great. So the referee had to stop the match. It wasn't like he, again, not racing.
How did it?
Yeah.
How did he stop the match again?
Oh, well, not with the raising of the hands.
Right.
Yeah.
He just
stopped
looked
the match.
at his face
Just looked like,
and stopped the match.
Are you out? Yeah, he's out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah. I said we'd get back to that later, right?
Yep.
Didn't I say that earlier?
You did, and there you go.
Well,
there you
go. Didn't raise a hand 3 times, did he?
Nope. Just assumed he was out, and that was the end of it.
Kingston's face was purple, though, which was cool.
Yeah, that was well done.
I mean, probably designed to be that way,
yes.
But
that was well done.
I liked it. Here's what I have to say. Holy fuck, Kingston has the best chops since Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I think Ric Flair has to officially move over and declare Eddie Kingston the new Chop King.
Wow, that's bold words on your part.
I love Flair's one of my favorites. Probably 1 and 2, probably number 2. You know what I mean? Number 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Probably number 2. Obviously Sting.
Yeah.
And obviously as I got older, my Flair was. I hated him as a kid, but you know my Flair is probably 2 for sure.
Okay.
If Flair was still around, I wouldn't. Even they were together in their primes, I would never say that.
Right.
However, good fucking Lord is Eddie Kingston impressive with the chops.
Yep.
I don't think he hits a chop that doesn't make you fucking cry. I shed a fucking tear on the couch.
Yeah.
In my fucking pajamas, watching this shit. I fucking shed a tear. Okay, so they are fucking thunderous, nice thuds, and obviously Ric Flair's retired a long time, so I think he should retire as a Chop King as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the match because it's just a hard-hitting match. Solid ground, fucking hard-hitting, just a good, like a brawl, but not a overly brawly brawl. You know, just a hard fight. Just a fight, you know?
Right.
That's what I loved about it. Both guys shined here. And of course, at the end, they found a way. Will Hobbs was going to get his big shine in the main event. They found a way to get him out there with the attack, with the post-match save. So, you know, Lucha Brothers come out, attack Jon Moxley. Then out comes Darby, I believe, was for the help. And then Starks comes out, and it breaks down. And Will Hobbs makes a save for Moxley.
Yeah.
So they got him on the show after all that said and done. So we'll see what next week brings. I don't remember. Did they mention any match?
Yeah.
For that?
Let's see. Next week. It simply, okay, so for next week, it simply said that Jon Moxley was going to be appearing. They did not say there was a match. And in fact, since we're talking about that, yeah, so for next week, we got Jericho versus Cassidy. Britt Baker in action. They're not saying who she's facing.
She's the European Britt Baker.
She's European, yeah, there you go.
Britt Breakshiar.
Britt
Breakshiar. Shire. Whatever the fuck. Okay.
FTR with Tully Blanchard versus FCU. Starks with Taz versus Allen. And then
Okay, so that is next week.
That's next week. And then
how are they going to play that up? I thought they'd make that the pay-per-view move.
See, that does feel more like it should be. I am a little surprised they're having that on TV, but there you go.
And, but they've been playing that angle up for a while, and I know you get aggravated, so they still have what, 7 more weeks.
Exactly. There you go.
So maybe it works. And again, I like it in the fact that you maybe get it, but you get it's just a match that something happens that leads to it being that much bigger come pay-per-view time.
Yeah.
So I don't mind guys wrestling before the pay-per-view match if it builds a story. It makes the pay-per-view match that much stronger.
Exactly. And then, to close, I thought this was interesting too. When they were announcing what's going to be for next week, they fast forwarded a little bit to October 7th. and they said AEW is going to celebrate Chris Jericho's 30th anniversary wrestling.
Yeah, I thought that was next week.
That's for October 7th.
Or this week.
Yes.
So that's the
next week is September 30th, and then the following show is October 7th, and that's where they said AEW is going to be celebrating his 30 years in wrestling.
Okay. Isn't that the 1 year anniversary of Dynamite?
You know what? You might be right.
That's the 1 year anniversary show.
You might be right.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about
sense.
that. I mean, they didn't mention that here. They mentioned it as whatchamacallit, as just being the...
So that makes, now that I'm thinking about it, the timing makes sense for them to fight the best friends, FTR to fight the best friends, to wrestle, I should say, the best friends on that show on the 7th, because that is the anniversary show. So you want to make that a big show.
Yep.
And the best friends coming off that a fucking incredible parking lot brawl. And of course, FTR being as solid as they are.
Yep.
I mean, that's a great match for the tag titles.
And then the last note, I had almost forgotten about this as well. They did also then fast forward to the 14th to say that's going to be Moxley or Eddie Kingston versus Lance Archer.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, they announced that for the 14th.
Why would Eddie... Oh, okay. It's going to be Moxley versus Archer because Eddie Kingston lost. So yes, they announced it.
Sorry, you're right. They announced it before the main event. Sorry, yes,
right.
Yes.
You threw me off for a second there, but I got what you're saying.
But there you go. Yeah. Right, you were wondering when that match is going to happen. Well, there you go. It's going to happen on October 14th. So for some reason they're going to wait 3 more weeks to actually have that match. That is interesting. That's weird, isn't it? Like, why would they? Yeah, why would they have it that if? Okay, so Moxley.
Well, he's sick.
Okay, well there you go. You're right. Oh, you're right. You're right. That's right. Yeah, figure 2 weeks to make sure he's good to go. Yep, yeah. That's right.
Okay, I thought I remembered this, then lost it as we were just talking, and finally came back. So before I forget, you know me, the governor of Florida just announced that they're opening up 100%.
Yep.
Now, I don't know what this means in terms of AEW. Does AEW open up capacity to maybe 90%? Or do they continue doing what they're doing with the smaller crowds? Or maybe expand it a little bit, but not fully? Obviously, you don't want ringside seats for the wrestlers' protection. What do you do?
I got to be honest with you, man. I don't know how this is going to work. I mean, I don't know. I heard about this for other reasons, work related and such. And when I heard about this, I was shocked because, yeah, like I can't imagine that you can still. So you open up completely, but I still can't imagine that you're just going to be able to willy-nilly let everybody into an arena. I just don't see.
Right.
My thinking is probably opening up to the extent of, fine, everything is open up, but you're still, again, let's use Walt Disney World as an example. They are still going to only be able to have a specific percentage of capacity for how many people they can let in. So Disney World is open. They are letting people in.
Maybe the capacity raises more than it was.
Exactly.
But everything's open, but there's still a somewhat limit on capacity, maybe. Yeah, right?
Because even with in an arena, I would think even 50% capacity is probably going to be too much for an arena. Maybe for an arena, you've got 25% capacity. If you're going to go to 50% or higher for an arena, we'll see. We'll see what that encompasses.
I don't know. I mean, listen, man. When is enough enough?
I agree. I agree.
You know, you gotta life's got to go to fuck on at this point. You can't just shut the world down for a year.
You're not going to get an argument from me on that at all. I mean, you know, if you maybe have it so that okay, they're completely open, but you still got to wear masks.
I mean, listen, I get wearing masks in that situation. I'm not a guy who doesn't think you should wear a mask. I have to wear a mask every fucking day at work. Do I like it? No. I do it because I have to. If I'm outside, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck If you don't like that I'm not wearing a mask, walk the fuck around me, whatever. But I'm not driving in my car with a mask on. No, when I go in a store, I wear a
Yep.
mask. When I'm
Same.
around people I know at work, I don't wear a mask.
Right.
If they're not wearing a mask, I'm not stressing it.
Yeah.
It's what it is. It's my own risk. It's their own risk. We all know what risk we take.
Yep.
Take your own risks is where it boils down
Yeah.
to. Be smart. If you fucking feel sick, don't be an asshole and go out
Exactly.
and fucking, go out because you feel sick. Don't go to fuck out.
Exactly.
In this time, respect that. I get it. In another time where maybe you just got a really bad chest cold or sinus infection and you got to work because you can't take off. That's a little different. I mean, it's hard. It's not as big a deal. Not that you're planning to pass it off to somebody, but if somebody happens to get sick, it's like, yeah, it sucks for them for a week, but it's not something that'll kill them.
Right.
But okay, this is something that could potentially kill people. So you can't take that risk. Now you have to take off whether you can or not. Just do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway,
but yeah, we'll see where it goes.
I don't want to turn it into anything fucking too wild.
Same.
But
yeah, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. We will see what this means. It will be interesting to see how this affects things moving forward. I mean, this will change a lot. This would change a lot not only for AEW, for WWE, for any other arenas that are basically in Florida. So we'll see.
Yeah,
interesting times.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yep.
So, all right. I'm going to ask this again, uncensoredalliance.com. We have the email at the top there on the bar. Just click it. It'll open you up an email. Send us an email that just says, you're with us every week. You listen once a week. You watch a show live with us on YouTube, whatever. Just let us know you're out there. We'll read it out on the show live like we did earlier. Basically, you don't have to you can put some stuff in the body, give us a little rundown or whatever. That's awesome. I appreciate the ones we got this week. Had some stuff in the body that really got me excited that we have some people out there really listening and enjoying what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Chris and Skylar. So just put it in the subject line. Just put, I listen every week, and put your screen name or your real name, whatever you prefer. We shout you out on the show, and we'll do it. Anyway, to close out the show, like, share, and subscribe. You know what I say. It's I'm gonna start doing all the goofy YouTube shit. Smash the like, subscribe button. The algorithms, and I'll get all excited. I think that's gonna be my gimmick. I'm gonna come up with a gimmick, and I think I'm gonna use it soon. Maybe I'll test it out with you, Alan, and we'll see if you like it. But like, share, subscribe. Get your family's shit. Like, share, subscribe on theirs. On Twitter at AEW Uncensored, one word, nothing in between. Email AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. Send us love mail, hate mail, questions, statements, whatever the fuck shit you want read on the show. And of course, let us know that you're with us every week. And I'll read those out. We appreciate that. Just love to get a feeling, a vibe for who's out there with us. Facebook, AEW Uncensored Podcast. We have a page and a group. Just put that in the search bar, and they'll both pop up. Like the page, and join the group. We are on every third-party podcast app out there. iTunes, rate, share, subscribe. That the rating and reviewing is huge. The subscribing is huge on iTunes. It's one of the biggest platforms, and that will really help us grow as a podcast. It'll put us in their algorithms where they show off podcasts and to people as suggestions. We are on Stitcher, we are on iHeart Radio, we are on TuneIn, we are on Deezer, and of course Google Podcasts. So last but not least, you want to be on the show, you want to call in with us, get us on Skype. We have the link in the description. We have links on our pinned to our top of our Facebook group and page. We have that pinned to the top of uncensoredalliance.com. The very first post is our Skype. Send us a message. There's a link in the live show right now on YouTube. Send us a message, throw you in the chat with everybody else. And that's pretty much it. Just want to thank you. Appreciate you listening. We love you guys. I'm really psyched. I'm like, why every day I'm checking the rankings to see where we're at. I'm hoping this week we could go rankings all 7 days as well.
Yeah, man.
Usually it's like the early part of the week we would fall out, and then we get it back at the end of the week. I guess people, go to check for the new app while they're working or whatever, new podcast while they're working or whatever. And later in the week we get those, we get to move up the ladder. So excited, man. You guys really making us excited, making me smile every time I check it out. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the show today. And shout out to the crew in the chat as always. Shout out to the guys that are usually in the chat that couldn't be with us as always. We love you guys. All right?
Definitely. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.